debriefing video for the 17th of October 2023. It's a joint session, so the Board of Trustees and the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals are in on that meeting, whoever is able to show up, and most of the people were. Decent discussion, no votes are taken, it's a working session, and the purpose of it is to get cross communication. So if you want to see all the discussions, obviously you can watch that individual video. I'll just kind of go over the items that we went over essentially. And the first one was master plan, and Steve basically covered the importance of the master plan for future use and giving legal standing for any changes that may be in the future. There were a few questions about that, as well as kind of the process that we go through, because we're looking at amending that, which should be amended every 5 years. And sometimes that gets missed, but we're right on the mark now, so that'll be occurring over probably the next half of a year. Next was the current state of things. I kind of went over the idea of I see it as there's different cultures kind of closing in from the borders as far as population density goes, and then where the different cultures touch. There's a few different issues, and there's like the lakes versus the village versus the center kind of foresty section of the township versus the commercial corridor on 120 versus the commercial corridor on Whitehall versus the subdivisions along the southern border. Like these are different areas, different things of concern. Next was where we want to be in 5 years, 10 years, etc. Left somewhat decently vague, but there were different perspectives on how do we encourage people to come in, but also how do we preserve the rural culture, right? That type of thing. Lake district growth, just some of the difficulties to a large extent. This bleeds into some of the infrastructure discussion as well. We have limited sewer water, probably not really looking at expanding those a ton. Is broadband going to continue to expand to some extent for sure, and hopefully. Next is commercial growth. There's some discussion about a lot of the people that live here don't end up spending a ton of the dollars here, right? They go somewhere else to spend money. There are some places along 120, along Whitehall Road, of places that people go for retail operations, for restaurants, bars. So there are a few places. So, and Todd did mention, you can't get pizza here. But after the meeting, he mentioned to me he actually can. Right, so the Effing Bar and Northside Pub, both have pizza, and the Full Moon Saloon and Public Word Inn are good places to eat. So there are some places. Next, we have the idea of addressing growth edges, any changes, opportunities, challenges, that type of thing. By that point, people thought we kind of covered all of that stuff in the other items. And then last, we had the food sovereignty election, which there was a little bit of discussion on, kind of minor support, minor opposition to it. So some general hesitancy, no real enthusiasm, particularly about it. We already have the ordinance passed here. This was just the idea of bringing it to the election. I wanted to see how people kind of felt about that. So that's the conclusion of the meeting. Obviously, a lot more discussion from a lot more people in there. It's an hour and a half, so it's not too bad. Good discussion overall. Any thoughts, questions, ideas, comments, concerns, feel free to let me know. My direct line at the office is area code 231-332-6700, or email supervisor@daltontownship.org. Otherwise, this is Joe Hart signing off until next time.